Hello everyone, this is Gemma Temple. I will present my literature review entitled The Health Inequity of Asian Americans and How Does It Connect to the Community Disadvantage Theory. The Asian American population in the USA is a diverse and rapidly growing group. Despite their increasing exposure to society, these ethnic groups continue to face health inequities as racial and income health disparities. Most Asians arrive as professionals, at least with a bachelor degree, but some have lower education attainment, especially those seeking refugee status. The immigration is so lengthy, so immigrants arrive, or when they get the visa, they're already old because of that process. In this investigation, the subjects are the first and the 1.5 Asian immigrants. The first generation immigrant in this inquiry refers to the individual born outside the USA and later migrated to this country. And the 1.5 generation immigrants came to the USA as kids. Asian Americans shaped the history of the USA, and the first Asians came between 1565 and 1815 in Manila galleons, a trading ship from the Philippines to Mexico, passing the USA and back and forth. The process of getting visa as an immigrant is so lengthy. Thus, Asian Americans are already old when they arrive in the USA. This made them unqualified to access Medicare, only Medicaid, but this is a tedious paperwork. Throughout history, Asian Americans have confronted a long legacy of exclusion and inequity concerning policies and practices. Nowadays, Asian Americans are still victims of discrimination, injustice, and polarity. The best example was during the COVID-19 pandemic. There were hate crimes like assaults inflicted toward older Asians because of their ethnicity. The cumulative disadvantage theory connotes how early disadvantage is critical to how cohorts become differentiated over time. The scrutinization of health and aging records, the expanding racial and socioeconomic disparities from childhood to adulthood, followed by stability, convergence, or sometimes crossover in later lives. Punctuated equilibrium in social theory is a conceptual framework for comprehending the change process in complex social systems. This notion posits that most social systems exist in an extended period of stasis, which may be punctuated by sudden shifts to radical change. The punctuated equilibrium modeling strategy involves evolution happening in spurts rather than following a steady path. This scheme involves both mortality and harassment. While the punctuated equilibrium orientation emphasizes that an individual's health is either smooth, continuous, or has no direction, as presumed by the principle of population trajectory models. And lastly, this theory as we apply to Asian Americans. As a newcomers to this host country, There will be adjustment to the new language, culture, work environment, and society. Because of these changes, there will be feelings of intimidation, uncertainty, and culture shock, and may thus lead to anxiety and maybe depression. Rapid economic prosperity in Asia has brought inequality to the income of its citizens. Because of that wide disparity financially, there is a division between skilled and untrained workers. Thus, it affects their income. The Philippines is still fighting to narrow its people wealth disparity. As of 2021, the Gini index score was 40.7, wherein if it is the score of 0, it means perfect equality, and if it is the Gini score of 100, it indicates total inequality. Industrialization and urbanization are the key contributors to rising inequalities in Asia. Investors or capitalists profit most from their investment from the cheap labor compensation. So, lower wages for the workers cause their poverty. There are 4 reasons why Asians migrated to the USA. First, family reunification. It's family purpose. Second, financial contingency. Third, educational opportunities. And the fourth one is seeking as refugees. The American dream is the belief that anybody, regardless of where they were born or what class they came from, can achieve their version of success in a civilization where social climbing is possible. The Asian American dream is to have the autonomy of choice to live one's life, have a happy family, and retire comfortably. The early American dream is not for economic purposes, but for hope, for equality, justice, and democracy for the nation. However, this was changed by each generation as capitalism became the new version of democracy. The reality of Asian American dream is elusive. As newcomer to this strange country, they face obstacles attaining their American dream, like navigating English proficiency, transportation, job acquisition, and weathering discrimination. The cumulative disadvantage hypothesis affirms that the discrepancy broadens continuously with age. This theory postulates how early advantages or disadvantages are crucial in how cohorts transfer over time. The Asian Americans' health disparities brought about the inequality of attaining the resources of the nation. Healthcare access is a problem because of the lower income and an inability to tap Medicare, as they are not qualified because of the citizenship criterion. In a capitalistic humanity like the USA, 2 groups compete for the country's resources: the money-rich and the poor citizens. The privileged inhabitants flex to sustain their dominance while the other group fights to get their minimum share. And the older Asian Americans are part of the percentage brawling for the state public funds to obtain health equity. This is on top of the violence and discrimination they experience. Some policies can be used to narrow down the health disparity, like letting older adults, Asian Americans be represented in any research for strategies to shorten the gap, encouraging literacy in healthcare, using their language of comfort so they can manage their health better. And lastly, implementing universal healthcare that is available to everyone, regardless of their immigration and citizenship status. All my references, and thank you very much for listening. Bye bye.